Good morning, guys. Welcome to a new vlog. This video is mostly coming to you the weekend that it goes live because it's been a bit of a week. So I was very lucky to be able to get my first dose of vaccine on Tuesday, so I knew that I need a few days to recover. Luckily, it was just really a sore arm that I experienced, so I tried to take it easy on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then Thursday, well, I made my announcement on Instagram that I am doing the 1 room challenge, and I decided that I would give you a little more background in the vlog about that, because I do feel a little bit bad when I don't share information here first. I want you guys to feel like you are kind of like in the front row and know all the information before people on Instagram and stuff like that, because I do really appreciate that you guys support me here, and so I try to make that as a little incentive to know what's going on behind the scenes. But truthfully, that decision was kind of last minute. So a friend of mine, her Instagram handle is Thompson Haven, I believe. I will put the link in my description box, but she asked me if I was doing the 1 room challenge because we chat back and forth. We don't actually know each other in real life, but we are Instagram friends, and it turns out we both went to the same university and our partners know each other, which is kind of funny. But so she asked me if I was doing it, and I thought, you know, that meant it was that week. So I just said, oh, well, like, I don't know, I don't think so. But then as she talked about it more and as I looked into it more, I was like, oh, maybe I should do this, because we all know that I've been talking about the kitchen project for so long, but I just needed that extra push to do it. So when I looked into it, I had 2 weeks from the time that I started looking into it to the start date. And I was like, okay, I think this is reasonable. I think I can do this. So then I started to review my plans, get more information on it. And a lot of times when you do 1 room challenge, especially as a larger blogger and influencer, you're able to get partnerships and sponsors, which is not only beneficial to myself, but also to those brands, because they're getting a little more exposure than they otherwise would if they just partnered with me on a normal time. But it's also great because, number one, they get to work with me as a blogger and reach a different audience than they otherwise might, but also because I am doing my internship and will be doing design full-time at some point, hopefully very soon. That means that I can work with them with my own clients in the future. So it's kind of a cool opportunity. So I then started to try and arrange some partnerships and sponsorships and things like that. And I was able to secure a few so far. So you guys will be hearing more about that now, but just know these are companies that I had already decided that I really wanted to work with. And I just said, hey, what do you think? To them, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. So it's not like they reached out to me first, I reached out to them. So they are things that I like, people I honestly wanted to work with, companies that I wanted to use in my own kitchen. It's not like I'm just forcing something on you. Like, these were my decisions ahead of time. So that is pretty cool. What else? So honestly, it's gonna be a whirlwind because I made this decision so last minute that I printed out 2 calendars and started writing out the 8 weeks. Normally the challenge is 6 weeks, but I have 8 weeks to transform a space completely. And so I started writing out my schedule so that I could get things rolling. I'd already been in contact with a flooring company back and forth for a little while, but we hadn't really planned anything because they needed me to make a deposit on flooring that I hadn't seen before they came out to measure. So luckily the company who makes the flooring sent me some samples so I could make the call that yes, this is what I wanted. So I just had the flooring people out this past week. Very exciting. So they are going to start a week Monday, so the 17th, which means that I need my whole kitchen ripped out before then so that they can lay the floor under everything. And obviously the peninsula that's there, we don't want to have a peninsula-sized gap missing flooring. So yes, I'm going to talk you through all the decisions and all the things that I've done up until this point, so you are totally on board with my plan. But also on Thursday, when the 1 room challenge was announced, I did post on my blog some more details kind of my plan, but I think it's more fun if I talk you through what decisions were made and show some other things that maybe weren't shown on there yet. I just wanted to include a video from when we first moved into the house. You can see exactly what the kitchen looked like, and this is kind of the before video, so you see how it is now and get the full vision of what we are about to do. I'm going to show you some of the materials that we are going to be using, and as I'm filming this, I've already started a little bit of demo in the kitchen. It's just a disaster in here, so I apologize. But I think it's important to show you the materials I'm using in the space they're being used so you can see the actual color, but of course they may show up different on camera than they do in real life, so I do apologize for that if that is the case. So I'm going to quickly show you the floor plan, which I think we've talked about before, so I don't think it should be a surprise to you, but I will quickly show you. And again, I apologize, it is super disaster in here right now. So I printed off a copy of the floor plan so you quickly see. So I think you're familiar with the layout. So you've got the stairs, and then those are the windows and doors to the backyard. So the stove is staying in place, the fridge is staying in place. Everything is going to be similar to how it is now, except the peninsula is going to be straightened, and we only have a 30-inch fridge right now, so we are going to get a 36-inch fridge, and then there will be a banquette on the other side with like a breakfast nook, and then there'll be some armchairs over here, and then a frame TV so that when you're in these areas you can watch the TV, or if you're just sitting there you can just enjoy life. So I've got the plan in the orientation that we are standing, so you can see here are the stairs, it's right here. And then you can see there are the doors. So when you walk in, the fridge will be right here like it is now. One of the issues is you can see this spacing, so we're gonna have to cut the stairs a little bit to make room for the bigger fridge. Let me hold that right for you guys. And then you can see the stove and everything here with the messy kitchen. So it's kind of similar to how it is now. But it's going to be more our taste, and then this is going to be straightened out. And you can see these elevations that I did. So this is the stove wall, so you can see it's all going to be backsplash, and then on the wall beside it, so this wall right here is going to be cabinets, and then over here there's going to be a glass cabinet that comes all the way down to the countertop, and then that is the wall, or the peninsula that looks out to the backyard. Maybe you guys are wondering, why are we doing this if it's gonna be so similar? So when we first moved in, we didn't like the kitchen. It wasn't our style, and my initial thought was to just try to make do with how it was, see if I could give it a facelift. But as we lived through winter here, number one, the slate floors that we already hated were freezing cold. And also, when you were standing over in this area, you could feel cold air at your feet, like wind. And there's a little hole in the cabinets, and when I looked through, I could see through into the wall, so I am pretty sure that in those lower cabinets, it is open, there's no drywall, and it was creating cold air flowing in at our feet. So that is a huge problem. We want to insulate that. We already didn't like the floors, and we wanted to put some insulation under them. One of the issues is there is, like, our kitchen walks out into the backyard. So there is this lip right here that isn't much space. So when the slate is removed and you have that, there isn't going to be much room. So a lot of people were like, well, why don't you do undermount flooring or underheat flooring or whatever? I don't think there's enough room for that. And we could have lifted the floors up a bit, taken out one of these steps, and moved the windows up and doors and everything, and it just was too much. We're like, I don't think we want to do that. We're happy with how it is. It's nice that it walks out into the backyard. Clearly that was their intent, and why there's no no basement underneath this. It's just on a slab. So ultimately we came to it. We're like, okay, we're ripping the cabinets out to fix the walls, and also the sink cabinet is rotten from a previous leak, and we don't like how it's angled. We started to think about it, and we're like, well, it kind of just makes sense to rip it all out. Also, the fridge is old. It doesn't have a water dispenser, which Chris hates. And you can't put things near the back of the fridge because it freezes them. You can't put them at the bottom of the fridge because it freezes them. So there's not a lot of space. So that was a big problem. And also the dishwasher doesn't work, so we're just like, okay, just gonna fix it all at once. We really like the stove, so we're gonna keep that, nor do I think we could afford something of similar quality. And then the range hood is gonna stay, and we're gonna cover it with millwork so it looks pretty. So that's kind of why we're doing this the way we're doing this. And kitchens are expensive, I'm not gonna lie. The other day I kind of wrote out the plan and how much it was all gonna cost, and that was a lot. But we're here, we're doing it, so that is the plan, and these guys are enjoying all the shenanigans. So here is the flooring that we chose. It's an engineered hardwood, so it is really hard wearing. It's good with different changes in temperature, and I wanted it to be a similar color to the rest of the house, but I'm choosing for it to be in a herringbone pattern, so I'll pop it up on the screen what it is gonna look like. This is the color that I chose for our cabinets. It is a natural cream color. I've also been asked, why am I not doing a white kitchen? Number one, I think that white kitchens have had their time, and I think that off-white, mushroom, bone-colored kitchens are about to have their moment. And I mean, they have historically, they always, you know, it's like fashion, everything comes back in a cycle. But also, we live in a really old home. It's over 100 years old, and very white things just don't look right here. So I would worry that it just wouldn't be in keeping, and kind of my dream kitchen would be like English countryside meets city, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I think that this natural cream color is going to look amazing. And then I will show you the tile that we're picking. So I'm not sure if you've seen this type of tile where it's kind of got a bit of texture to it, and the tiles are all slightly different colors. So that is what we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be a subway tile, so it's gonna be, I think, probably double this size, and it's gonna look amazing. And then we're gonna do probably this quartz, which is supposed to look like marble. So that is the plan with that. The few other things that I haven't talked a lot about yet is I'm gonna do an apron front sink, but I want the front of it to be marble. So often when you see these style of sinks, the front of the sink is part of the sink. The aprony part is part of the sink. But in this case, I'm gonna get an undermount sink without the apron, and then I'm gonna put the marble on the front. That is the plan. Chris really doesn't like this style of sink, but number one, I'm designing it. Number two, I'm the one who always uses the kitchen. And number three, I'm the one who's doing the work. So unfortunately, too bad. I really, really feel strongly about this, so that is what I'm doing. He also isn't a huge fan of the fact that the peninsula piece that comes out, that cabinet, is going all the way down to the countertop, but I think it's gonna look really nice. I think it's nice to break up all of the normal cabinetry with some glass, and I think it's nice to have at least one that comes down to the countertop. So that's why we're doing that. And the other few things, I'm gonna put up like a mood board on the screen that's also on the blog. So I really want a bridge faucet. And I was toying with doing a gold one, but in the end, I think I'm gonna go with silver. When I've looked at kitchens that have mixed metals, so where you've got gold and silver, a lot of times the sink and the faucet is silver because of the interior of the sink. I'm gonna pick a silver one. I think it probably a little easier for wear and tear than the porcelain slash white ones. I think that would stain, especially with our love of tea. And also because of where the sink is with the range behind it, and then the fridge, I think it'll just look better. But I really want a gold in the kitchen, so the handles, knobs, latches, everything are gonna be gold. I haven't asked Chris about this, or like told him about it, but I'm hoping it's gonna go okay. And then, if you guys remember very, very early on in vlogs, we were at the cottage and we went into Muskoka Living, and they have this like clearance section of things that either didn't work or didn't sell. And there was this wall sconce, like a picture light is horizontal. It was gold, it was beautiful, and it was regular like $700-800 and on sale for like $100. So I scooped that up. The reason it was on sale is because it had some marks on it, but honestly, because of the look of it, it just gave it like a little more character and made it look old. So that is going to go above the banquette here with like a picture wall below it, like a gallery. So that's where I'm tying in the gold with the knobs and latches. So that is the plan so far. Also, I think I explained this in my Instagram stories, but the reason that we aren't doing a big island and we're having the breakfast nook is because of the steps down into the kitchen. The kitchen just feels so separate from the rest of the house, and one day when we have little ones running around, it's just gonna be nice to have that like banquette area and make it feel less separate from the rest of the house, and it'll just be really nice for me, as well as we get some beautiful light here in the morning, so we look forward to being able to use that in that way and just create a more cohesive feeling space that works for us. I also put some of my rendering skills to the test, so I did a kind of preview of what the space is going to look like, and I'll show you the angle that it's from, and then I'll pop it on the screen. So it's probably from this angle here. Sitting down, my arm's getting sore from walking around talking to you guys because I don't normally do it for so long. So I think I like mostly explained the design. I guess one thing I didn't mention is we borrowed a microwave from the cottage when we moved in, and we're planning to take it back. And in the meantime, they got another one up there that was really, really cool. So it's a 4-in-1, so it's a microwave, a convection oven, I think it's a steamer, and an air fryer. So we're like, okay, we're gonna get that. It wasn't too expensive. I think it's like around $5 something. It's like, okay, we need a new microwave anyways, so we wanna return that one. And if we're gonna build it into our kitchen, we're not gonna use an old microwave that's, I don't know, 10 years old. Doesn't make sense. But the build-in process is a little iffy because our kitchen isn't particularly large, like the way we're designing it. It has a lot of storage, but there isn't an ideal place to put it. So, hear me out. I am going to be putting it, this cabinet is gonna be very similar with 3 drawers, and it's gonna go right here. Yes, it sucks that it's low down, but if it was up here, I think it would be an eyesore. You'd be staring at this beautiful wall and all you'd see is this microwave. The other option was to put it over here, but then it was literally a wall of tech. So the best place was here. Because obviously on the other side that I'm looking at right now is the sink, the dishwasher, and a garbage pull-out thing, which we don't currently have, which will be really nice. So that is what it is. Not ideal, but it's gonna be fine. Also the banquette that we're having built, that will go over here. It's gonna be like a, not L shape, but you know, along the back of the peninsula and along the wall. It's gonna have storage in it. So you're gonna open the lid and there's gonna be storage in there. So we will probably store extra stuff in there. I think I might be able to put the Dyson in there, which would be really nice. What else? A lot of people were upset when I was trying to like plan this. Like, I did my research. I reached out to a bunch of different companies, not as a blogger, just as a general person, which is the same thing that I did with the company that I ended up going with. But Home Depot, other companies, and I asked them, I sent them what I wanted to do, and they didn't like how tall my cabinets were gonna be because I've got 10-foot ceilings. However, you're gonna see later on in this video how gross the top of these cabinets were when they didn't go to the ceiling. They get so gross and dirty, greasy, filled with bugs and dirt, like dust. It's horrible. So I really wanted to take them to the ceiling and make the most of the storage. Of course, the stuff I put up there is not stuff that I'm gonna use every day. It's gonna be seasonal stuff. I'm gonna have Christmas decorations up there. Like, I have seasonal plates and napkins and things like that that can go up there. That's my intent. I'm not gonna put something I use every day up there because that would just be silly. And in the banquette, I will probably store extra food. We have, you guys are gonna think this is a little bit weird, but during the pandemic, when we moved here, we started ordering our groceries on Loblaws. It's like $3 to pick it up, and we shop every 3 weeks to a month. So we buy a lot, and any dry food we will put in the basement for storage, but when we have this banquette, we can put it all in there. It's stuff that we're not gonna need for a few weeks or we bought extra of. So the banquette is gonna also act as some extra storage. So I think that we're gonna be in really great shape. Another thing that I'm excited about is the cabinet that's gonna go above the fridge. I'm hoping to do one of those ones that has the slots for baking sheets. I'll put it on the screen in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But that is what my big hope is, because when we lived at the condo, that is exactly what we had, and it was absolutely amazing. If you are a baker or you need a place to store those, it was so amazing. So that is the hope for there. So I'm gonna show you what I got up to yesterday, because Friday and Saturday I spent taking stuff down to the basement and organizing for this, because obviously you gotta empty out all the cupboards in order to rip them out. So you can see right here, this is the food and things that I feel like we will use most frequently. And then let me show you the rest of the stuff. So I've moved some stuff into here. We've got a mini fridge that we borrowed from the cottage, and then the microwave in here. We have a little tea and toaster set up in our living room. And then over here we've got like the stuff that I said we would probably use more often. And then I've stored a few things in there. Everything else that we would ordinarily use in the kitchen or use sometimes is in the basement. Extra food, dishes, things like that. And then I also stored anything that I was worried about breaking, such as glasses and tea mugs and stuff, up in the old closet that I just cleared out when we moved into our new wardrobe. So the whole bottom of those is filled with my special teacups and glassware. And then yesterday, after I finished all that, I cut the electrical and did some other stuff. So I'm gonna insert those clips so that you guys are up to speed on where I am at now. I've been working all afternoon on the kitchen. We went for a really nice walk this morning. It was beautiful and sunny, so I'll insert a clip here. It was really beautiful. We saw 2 Canadian geese and their babies, which was super sweet, and then just spent the rest of the time emptying out all of the cupboards so that I can take them down. There's just some things that are lingering that need to be sorted out. So dirty dishes, dishwasher, things like that, but clearly the stuff that's in there is stuff we use frequently, so I'm gonna keep that out. And then just outside of the kitchen, right here, I brought up one of those units, and I've put food and things that we are more likely to use. Chris's parents are gonna drop by a mini fridge from the cottage, so we are gonna use that, because what the intent is to donate the entire kitchen to Habitat for Humanity minus our range and range hood. So we will not have a fridge, because I thought, well, why are we gonna, like, I didn't want to separate the fridge from the units because the front matches. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like textured like the cabinets. And Chris just hates the fridge anyways. I probably would have kept it and dealt with it, but anyways. So that is going, and I didn't want to have a new fridge delivered if they're gonna be tearing up this floor and then the fridge to just be like in the rubble and have to worry about our brand new fridge. And then the dishwasher, we're also replacing, but I'm not super worried about that. So anyways, we have a mini fridge for a week, and then all of our frozen stuff we will put in their freezer because they probably have some space. So that is the thought. So I'm gonna stop for tea because I'm just exhausted. I've been up and down, up and down, up and down a million times, because obviously a lot of stuff that we don't use often is in the basement. I did put some stuff upstairs, like breakables, such as like glasses, my special tea mugs. Those are all upstairs. And it's just the lingering stuff to put away. And I'm not sure we're gonna do this, so I don't think we're gonna use this in the new kitchen, so it probably should go back up to the cottage, which is where we took it from. So I need to make a decision about that. So I finished my tea and I decided I wasn't gonna clean up this stuff because I need to focus on these uppers. They have uplighting and downlighting that we never turn on because it hums. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. Also, like, look at the different colors. So I need to figure out how to take it out because I'm not sure. So that is going to be a learning experience. I have done a little bit of lighting and wiring before, so I think that that should be fine, but I'm just gonna verify that it's fine to do this without turning the fuse off. I should probably go find the fuse anyways, so maybe I'll do that. So I got Chris to stand up in the kitchen with the undermount lighting on while I flipped some fuse panel switches, and we figured out which one it is, and we also figured out which one the kitchen fridge is, so that is good. So I flicked the switches off again just so that nothing bad happens, just in case. So now I'm going to try and take these lights out. It's so gross under here. Like, this is obviously not from us and we didn't bother touching it. We moved in. Maybe we should have. Maybe that's gross of us, but whatever. So I think the plan of action is to just undo these screws because there's those on either end and hope that it loosens this, but I honestly don't know. So I got these two lights down. Look at that, that's dust, guys, that's dust. That's disgusting. Also lots of dead flies. It's really lovely. So we got a situation going on here. So you can see back in here that the wiring goes into the wall. Also, these are incredibly sticky. So what I'm gonna do is figure out which of these wires goes into there. And I'm gonna disconnect it. So these are Marrettes, and I'm just gonna twist them off because the power's off. The fuse is off, the switch is off. It is safe to do this, so I'm taking the Marrettes off. And then I'll untwist these and hopefully be able to just pull this off, and the wires that are in the wall will kind of go that way. So that should be good. So there we go, I got those off. That was pretty easy. I did consider just taking wire cutters to them, but I don't even know that I have wire cutters. So that was a pretty easy solution. So I have to do that over here and here, and then also above. So the above is gonna be not fun. It's actually super gross up here. Let me show you. Isn't that disgusting? Ugh. So I don't look forward to that, and I can't even really see it, so I'm gonna have to bring the ladder down here, I think. You guys are about to die. Look at this. Look at this. I feel like I need to put on gloves to touch it. Disgusting. Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. So much grossness and yuck. Dramatic or not, I put this mask on because that was just disgusting. So I took out the middle wire unit that was there, so it's here. And now I'm removing the shelves and hopefully going to take all the wall units off. That is the goal. I might take all the shelves out and then hope that Chris is willing to help me take it down. I think that they are held up by 6 screws. Doesn't seem legit, but anyways, we'll try it. Also, here's the pile of lights. So you can tell which were the top ones and which were the bottom ones. Absolutely disgusting. So I don't know how to get rid of these. I'm pretty sure that these type of lights are not easily discarded of, so that'll be fun. So it's super late, but I managed to get the one cabinet off the wall. You can see I had it resting on the stack of books, and then when it came loose, Chris helped me take it down. It was so heavy, my goodness. So here it is. So I think that one's the same size. That one actually might be because it goes into the wall, and then that one will be super light. I don't know if I should do more tonight because it's honestly super heavy and I'm exhausted, so I'm trying to decide about that. But I don't think it was painted behind the cabinet, and there's like thick layers, so that sucks. But luckily the cabinets will be covering all of this in tile, and then over here I was gonna do shiplap anyways, so I feel like that kind of just solved the problem, which is awesome. And you can see that electrical was already up there, and I was planning to put a sconce here, so now I'm wondering if I should just move the wiring over. So that might be a good option. So, in case you're wondering, what is the plan going forward after today? So today I'm hoping to get those other upper cabinets down. Honestly, editing the vlogs normally takes me, I feel like I normally work on it until about like noon on the day that it goes live and get it uploaded. And Chris is busy today, so I don't know how much I'm gonna get done today. Honestly, I really need to get those cabinets down, but I spoke to my dad the other day and said, you know, there's these two issues that we need to address. One is the stairs that I talked about, because the fridge is going to be bigger and the stairs need to be cut out. And I had intended to deal with that later. But then I realized if the flooring people are coming, they need to put the floor where the stairs used to be, especially on that last step where the fridge isn't. So that was a big problem. So I realized, okay, we need to deal with that. But he also thinks that the plumbing needs to be moved for the sink because the peninsula is on an angle right now, and when it's straightened out, it's gonna need to be straightened out as well. So that was a problem. And also, the reason I ripped out the cabinets this weekend is because my intent is for Habitat for Humanity to pick them up. I wanted to donate them to Habitat for Humanity to take all my cabinets, my countertop, dishwasher, and fridge. The fridge matches all of the cabinetry. So I was worried that if I left it too late in the week, that I wouldn't be able to get it out on my own, and I'd need to call someone in. So that's why I did it this weekend. So I've got until the end of the week to get it done for them to pick up. And then the flooring guys come on Monday. So yeah, I was worried. That's why I started this weekend. I think that in regular times, Habitat for Humanity will actually come and take out the kitchen for you, but because of COVID, I think that they might have like a lack of support, or I'm not really sure, but they said that they're only doing that for full kitchen or for full house like renos and rip outs, which I'm not entirely sure. I guess like if someone's doing a whole house, it would be kitchen, bathroom, laundry room, things like that. So I guess that makes sense. So my dad has a friend who is a retired contractor, I believe, who I have met previously. So him and his friend are going to come down and help on Wednesday to rip out the rest of the cabinets that I cannot do. They don't think it'll take more than a few hours. Then they said it'll be really fast to cut out the steps, and then they will be able to help with the sink and moving the pipes. So I'm very, very lucky for that, because I was thinking I might have to hire someone to help me otherwise. So I'm thankful that they are going to come and help do that. Obviously, we will all be safe and masked and everything like that. And I think all of us now are vaccinated, which is really nice. Obviously, I have to wait the full 2 weeks to have the full effect, but we're getting there. So that is the plan for this week, so that by the end of the week, Habitat for Humanity can come pick up everything. And then the following Monday, the floors will go in, and I'm trying to schedule the appliances. Seems like there's backlogs on things like that. The dishwasher we won't be able to get until the middle of June, which I'm not super worried about. It's more so the fridge. So So all of our frozen stuff we're going to store at Chris's parents' place, and then the mini fridge doesn't have a freezer, so it'll just be our fridge stuff that we need for the week or two that we don't have a big fridge. And hopefully the new fridge will come, I think, the week of the 24th, so just after, a week after the floors are done. So I'll show you my little schedule. So I wrote out this little schedule to keep on track. So this is just like what I'm hoping for. So you can see remove cabinets. The cabinet pickup isn't actually going to happen probably until the 14th. And then the flooring is apparently only going to take 1 day, which is amazing. And then I'm hoping to order the new cabinet so that they can come and we can sort that out. But this was just me kind of trying to plan things out in advance to see when they would kind of work out. So obviously I want the range hood cover to go on at some point, which we've got to make. I'm going to have to build all of the cabinets. We're going to have the counters measured. One of the walls is going to have shiplap on it. We're going to have to install a backsplash, put the new cabinet doors and everything on. It's just a lot of things. I'm sure that this is like overwhelming information overload, which I feel like as I'm talking, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of information for you guys to process. Hopefully you're keeping up with the thoughts and the plans and everything, but it is going to be such an interesting process, and I'm going to take you guys along on as much as I can. So yeah. Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm still loving all of the feedback that I got from that closet transformation. It was one of those like empowering, proud moments where I realized like I did that all myself. Like no one helped me. No one helped me carry the stuff up the stairs. No one helped me do anything. So that was amazing. Obviously this kitchen project isn't going to be quite the same because I can't do all of these things myself. I'm going to learn. I'm going to take the day off on Wednesday to learn and help with the kitchen stuff. Maybe that's not useful. I should check because 3 people might be too many. But anyways, I will look into that. But it's going to be so interesting. So I hope you guys are excited. I am going to wrap up the vlog here. I guess it was more of like a information video. I hope it wasn't too much of like an information overload for you, and I hope you are as excited for this kitchen transformation as I am. It is going to be a long 8 weeks, and last night I went to bed absolutely exhausted, and I'm sure there's going to be many more nights like that, but stay tuned. In my Instagram stories, I'm going to try and do what I did for the closet transformation, where it's more like a in the moment as it's going on, and then I will continue to post in my vlogs, which is more behind the scenes. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you like this sort of content, like my videos, I appreciate all of the love and support. It definitely motivates me to keep taking on projects like this, so I really appreciate it. And have an amazing week. Stay safe, guys, and hopefully you guys will be able to get vaccinated very soon if you haven't already.